In series of anti-malarial drugs, today is last lecture, lecture 3 of anti-malarial drugs. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the remaining classes of anti-malarial drugs, right? Different classes of anti-malarial drugs. In previous lecture 1 and 2, we have discussed about the introduction of anti-malarial drugs, life cycle of malarial parasites, symptoms of malaria, classification of anti-malarial drugs, and first class quinoline of anti-malarial drugs. Right? In today's lecture, I am going to discuss remaining classes of anti-malarial drugs like 9-aminoacridine, 2,4-diaminopyrimidine, biguanides, sulfonamides and sulfone, and sesquiterpene lactones. So second class of anti-malarial drug is 9-aminoacridines. Right? Examples are quinacrine, acridine, and aminoacridine. Right? This drug contains acridine ring in its structure. Acridine ring is heterocyclic ring, that is 3 fuse ring system. In this, 2 benzene ring is fused with pyridine ring in center, that is known as the acridine ring. Right? And in acridine ring at 9th position, substituted amino group is present. That's why they are known as the 9-aminoacridine derivative. Right? Among this 9-aminoacridine, quinacrine is the most active agent of this class. Right? In general, this derivative shows the high degree of risk with low activity profile. Right? That's why after the development of 4-amino quinoline derivative, for example chloroquine and amodiaquine, they are used rarely for the treatment of malaria. Right? If we talk about the uses of quinacrine, this acts as seasonticidal and now it is obsolete for malaria, as we discussed, because of high degree of risk with low activity profile. That's why it is obsolete for the malaria. Right? However, it is used in therapy of leishmaniasis and of some tapeworm infection. Right? Next class is 2,4-diaminopyrimidine. Right? Examples are pyrimethamine and trimethoprim. In this series, these 2 drugs are effective anti-malarial drugs. They have the antibacterial activity as well as anti-malarial activity. They are active against both exoerythrocytic and erythrocytic phases of disease. Right? Discuss about the structure. Then it contains the pyrimidine ring. Right? What is pyrimidine? It is heterocyclic ring, 6-membered ring containing 2 nitrogen atoms at 1,3 position, and on this pyrimidine ring there are 2 amino groups at 2nd and 4th position. That's why it is known as 2,4-diaminopyrimidine derivative. Mechanism of action. Right? So it is meant to inhibit the synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid. It inhibits the synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid. Now, what is the importance of tetrahydrofolic acid? Tetrahydrofolic acid acts as a precursor or as raw material for the synthesis of protozoal RNA, DNA, that is nucleic acid, and protozoal protein synthesis. Right? So that when tetrahydrofolic acid is not synthesized, then synthesis of the nucleic acid, RNA, DNA, and synthesis of protein is inhibited. Right? Now, how tetrahydrofolic acid is synthesized in bacteria and protozoa? It starts with the PABA, that is para-aminobenzoic acid. Para-aminobenzoic acid is incorporated with the pteridine molecule in presence of enzyme dihydrofolate synthetase and form dihydrofolic acid. Right? This is the first step, conversion of PABA to dihydrofolic acid with the help of enzyme dihydrofolate synthetase. Right? and this step is inhibited by the sulfonamides. Right? Now in next step, dihydrofolic acid is converted into tetrahydrofolic acid with the help of dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. Right? It is the key step which is targeted by our drug, that is trimethoprim and pyrimethamine. Our drug trimethoprim and pyrimethamine inhibit the synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid by inhibiting the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase. Right? So, conversion of the dihydrofolic acid to tetrahydrofolic acid is blocked, and finally tetrahydrofolic acid will not form. Right? And if tetrahydrofolic acid will not form, then it will lead to the inhibition of the synthesis of nucleic acid and proteins in the protozoa. So ultimately it inhibits the protozoal cell growth, and death of the protozoal cell will occur. Right? So it is the mechanism of action of pyrimethamine and trimethoprim. Right? Uses. First of all, pyrimethamine. It is effective against erythrocytic and exoerythrocytic forms of Plasmodium falciparum and only exoerythrocytic form of Plasmodium vivax. That means if patient is infected with Plasmodium falciparum, then it is effective. This drug pyrimethamine is effective in both phase, erythrocytic and exoerythrocytic of infection. And if patient is infected with Plasmodium vivax, then this drug is effective only in exoerythrocytic phase. That means Plasmodium when present in liver cell, parenchymatous cell of liver, then this drug is effective. Okay? Next, trimethoprim. It is generally given in chloroquine and pyrimethamine resistant strain of Plasmodium falciparum. Right? When patient is infected with Plasmodium falciparum and this Plasmodium falciparum strain get resistant by the chloroquine and pyrimethamine. That means now chloroquine and pyrimethamine is not effective for the treatment of this type of strain of Plasmodium falciparum. Then trimethoprim is used. Right? And it is generally used in combination with sulfaline. Right? Sulfaline is a long-acting sulfonamide. Next one is biguanides. Right? Biguanides are largely prodrugs. Right? That's why it must be metabolized in vivo into its active form. Right? Here biguanides are metabolized in vivo to its active form, that is dihydrotriazine derivative. Right? Examples of biguanides are proguanil, or also known as chlorguanil, proguanil and bromoguanil. Right? As well as nitroguanil. Next one is structure and activity relationship of biguanides. See in structure, what is biguanides? Biguanides is two molecules of guanides. Guanides is the NH2C double bond NH, NH2. That means one carbon is double bonded with NH and to the 2 amino group NH2, NH2. That is known as the guanide. Right? And this type of two molecule is fused to each other. It is known as the biguanide molecule, as seen in structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A given number to the biguanide molecule. This molecule is the biguanide 1 to 5. Right? Now, see structure of different biguanides. It varies with the substitution at R1 and R2. In proguanil, R1 is chlorine and R2 is hydrogen. Right? In chlorguanil, both R1 and R2 are chlorine molecule atoms. Right? Then bromoguanil, R1 is bromine and R2 is hydrogen. In case of nitroguanil, R1 is nitro group and R2 is hydrogen. Right? This is the different structure of bigumonides. Now structure activity relationship, right, is shown in the structure N1. Right? Presence of the N1 aryl group is important for the activity. Right? It is essential for the activity. That means at first nitrogen there is a one aromatic ring or aryl group should be present for the activity, and second group or second aryl group or introduction of second aromatic ring will decrease the activity. That means at first nitrogen only one aromatic ring should be present for the maximum activity. Introduction of second aromatic ring at N1 lead to decrease in activity. Right? Now we see further substitution on this aromatic ring, that is R1 and R2. Right? At R1 and R2, if they have the dihalogen group, that means both at R1 and R2 halogens are present, that is dihalogen substitution in position 3 and 4 of aromatic ring will lead to the potent drug. Right? Increases the activity of drug and drug become potent. Right? Now discuss about the different 3 nitrogen atom N1, N3 and N5. Right? If substitution of the alkyl group at all 3 nitrogen atoms lead to the decrease in activity. Right? At N1, N3 and N5, if we substitute the alkyl group, then activity of the compound will decrease. Right? Now at last, see at the 5th nitrogen atom there is a isopropyl group, CH, CH3, CH3. Right? That is a isopropyl group. Right? So activity with normal propyl, that is CH2, CH2, CH3, single chain, that is the normal propyl. In this branched propyl is known as the isopropyl. Right? So compound with normal propyl and isopropyl produces the same activity, but when introduction of smaller or larger alkyl chain than propyl, that is 3 carbon chain, will lead to the decrease in activity. That means activity of compound is optimum with 3 carbon chain, either normal propyl or isopropyl. Right? So these are the points related to structure activity relationship of bigumonides. Right? Remember that at N1 it should be only one aromatic substitution or aryl substitution, and again on this aryl ring, benzene ring, if dihalogen substitution is done at 3 and 4 position, compound will be potent. Right? And if on 3 nitrogen atom N1, N3 and N5 alkyl substitution is done, then activity will decrease, and activity is potent with the propyl group, either a normal propyl or isopropyl is optimum. Right? Now mechanism of action. Right? As we said that proguanil or bigumonides act as a prodrug, then it must be metabolized into its active form inside the body. Right? So for example, we take proguanil. Proguanil is bigumonide, act as a prodrug, and it get metabolized into its active form, that is triazine derivative cycloguanil. Right? See in structure, this red color encircled NH group loses proton H plus and gets cyclized with this carbon by making bond with this carbon, right, and form the triazine ring. This open chain gets cyclized into triazine ring, right? So that now this triazine ring, it is again disubstituted with 2 amino group, right? 2,4-diamino triazine ring, right? Now this 2,4-diamino triazine ring has the structural and functional similarity with the pyrimethamine, right? 2,4-diamino pyrimidine and 2,4-diamino triazine ring have the structural similarity, right? That's why this cyclohexane or triazine derivative, triamino-triazine derivative have the same mechanism of action as pyrimethamine. Like pyrimethamine, it also inhibits the synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid by inhibiting the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase. Right? Dihydrofolate reductase enzyme is inhibited by the cyclohexane and ultimately inhibit the synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid. Right? And now tetrahydrofolic acid is not formed, not produced, then synthesis of the protozoal nucleic acid, RNA, DNA and protozoal protein synthesis will be inhibited and ultimately lead to the death of protozoal cell. Uses, they are effective against the pre-erythrocytic phases of malaria. Right? That means when protozoa or sporozoid present in the pre-erythrocytic phase, that is parenchymatous cell of liver, then this drug is effective. It also effective against erythrocytic form, but its activity is low in erythrocytic form. That means when plasmodium present in RBC or erythrocyte of human host, then this drug will have the low activity. Then sulfonamides and sulfone. Examples are sulfadiazine, dapsone and diacetyl-dapsone. Sulfadiazine is sulfonamide derivative. It possesses the sulfonamide nucleus. And dapsone and diacetyl-dapsone is a sulfone derivative. It possesses the sulfone nucleus. Right? Now, this dapsone or sulfones were shown to be effective against Plasmodium falciparum. Right? Its combination with quinine and pyrimethamine against chloroquine resistant strain of Plasmodium falciparum is active, is known. Right? These sulfones generally given in combination with quinine and pyrimethamine, right, to treat the malaria due to the chloroquine resistant strain of Plasmodium falciparum. Right? Now dapsone have the mild toxicity and prolonged duration of action. Right? Both sulfonamide and sulfones active only against erythrocytic stages of malarial parasite. Any plasmodium present in the erythrocyte that can be inhibited by both sulfonamide and sulfone. Right? But it is they are ineffective to the plasmodium by its infections. Right? Mechanism of action: it inhibits the again synthesis of the tetrahydrofolic acid. As we seen in mechanism of pyrimethamine and trimethoprim, right? Sulfonamide inhibit the enzyme dihydrofolate synthetase, right? That's why inhibit the synthesis of dihydrofolic acid, right? If dihydrofolic acid not formed, then it will lead to the inhibition of synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid, right? First step, that is the conversion of PABA and pyridine molecule into the dihydrofolic acid, that is catalyzed by the enzyme dihydrofolate synthetase, and this enzyme is inhibited by the sulfonamides and sulfone. That's why conversion of PABA to dihydrofolic acid is inhibited, right? And ultimately inhibition of the synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid and protozoal DNA, RNA and protozoal protein synthesis. Right? Now, sesquiterpene lactone. Next class of the antimalarial drug is sesquiterpene lactones. Examples are artesunate, artemether and artemisinin, etc. Right? This is the artesunate. This one is the artemether. Same structure. It contains the peroxide group here, right? This one is peroxide group in both cases, and lactone ring has trans configuration, right? It fused with other ring by trans configuration, right? And it has an unusual 1,2,4 trioxane ring. See, this peroxide is 1, 2 and 3, right? 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. It is from the 1, 2, 4 trioxane ring, right? Which contain the peroxide bridge. This 1, 2, 4 trioxane ring contain the peroxide bridge here, right? These are the sparingly soluble in oil as well as water and well absorbed from the GI tract, right? It has shown promise in the treatment of drug-resistant form of malaria. The other drug-resistant form of malaria can be treated by these sesquiterpene lactones, right? Next, mechanism of action. It is known to produce oxidative mechanism, right? It is known to produce oxidative mechanism. At the molecular level, it is possible that oxygen-oxygen bond of the peroxide bridge, as this seen in structure, oxygen-oxygen bond of peroxide bridge is known to break down into the electron by the electron transfer, right? Breakdown of the oxygen-oxygen bond of peroxide will occur due to electron transfer, and it will lead to the generation of oxygen-centered radical species, right? And this radical species could be responsible for the destruction or destructive effect in plasmodium cells. It causes the destruction of erythrocyte as well as different membranes of the plasmodium, and it produces the toxic effect to the plasmodium cell and cause the death of plasmodium cells, right? Uses artesunate. It is the first line treatment for children and adults with severe malaria, usually in combination with another anti-malarial drugs, right? It is also active against the Plasmodium ovale and Plasmodium malaria. Next, artemether. It is used for the uncomplicated malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum, chloroquine resistant Plasmodium falciparum, or chloroquine resistant Plasmodium vivax, right? When person is infected with Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium vivax and it gets resistant from the chloroquine, then it can be treated by using this type of drug, right? It also can be used in the severe malaria. So that is this is all about the anti-malarial drugs.